I'm Caleb from YouCanMakeThisToo, and today I'm restoring this Stanley Bailey No. 7 jointer plane. Restoring an old tool is basically taking it apart, cleaning everything, of course replacing or fixing anything broken, and then putting it back together. Like in this one, the blade is bent, but I was able to just straighten it off out camera in the vise with my hands, and the rear tote is chipped, so I make a new one. Anyway, that's pretty much what you'll see, so unless there's something noteworthy, I'm just going to talk about this plane and why I'm restoring it. I'm not going for a like-new restoration. I just want to get this thing cutting good, comfortable, and looking great. Bench planes are crazy simple. They're basically a chisel strapped to a base to give you control in even cuts. So as long as the plane isn't damaged or poorly manufactured, you can get the same results with a restored plane as a new one, and a lot of times it's going to be a lot cheaper. My buddy Rick at Woodwork Life did an in-depth video comparing new planes, restored planes, and cheap planes, so I'll leave a link to that in the description and throw up a card for you. This is a No. 7, which is a jointer plane. That means that it's really long, specifically 22 inches. Being long gives it more contact surface with whatever it's cutting and keeps it just cutting off the high points and stops it from riding into low spots. Because of that, a plane like this is used to make boards flat. If it's working the face of a board, then you're flattening, and if you're working the edge of the board, that's jointing, and so long planes are called jointer planes. Vinegar is a really safe way to break down rust. I was out of plain white vinegar, so I tried some apple cider vinegar to break down the surface rust on the sole and sides. Now, I didn't have a container big enough to soak this in, so I just soaked some paper towels and laid them on there for a few hours, and it worked pretty well. Now, for a plane to work well, it's really important that the sole be flat. All you need to do this is a flat surface and abrasive. I cut some sanding belts and used my table saw top because I know it's flat. But if you have granite or marble countertops and aren't married or don't want to be married anymore, those would work really well too. Now, to keep track of my progress, I scribbled some Sharpie lines and worked my way through the grits until they disappeared. After I was done, I rubbed on some paste wax to make sure they don't start rusting again before I can finish it. The frog is another really important part of the plane because it's what connects the blade to the base. After I wire brushed the frog, I took it to the sandpaper also to make sure the place where the frog meets the plane body and where the iron sits on the frog are really flat. I took the small parts to a cut brush and my drill press to clean them, and then buffed out the brass parts. That's not critical, but it just takes a minute, and I really think it makes it look a lot nicer. One of the things I like about old tools is the history they have. Because this one only has one patent date and no cast ring for the front knob, I know it's a Type 13, which means it was manufactured between 1925 and 1928. I mean, that's almost 100 years old. And to me, it's just really cool to make stuff out of a tool with so much history. I mean, maybe it belonged at some point to a professional carpenter that used it all the time, a hobbyist that just played with it, or maybe it just sat in someone's toolbox rusting for decades. Or all three, I don't know, but the mystery is just kind of part of the fun for me. Now, the front knob was in sound shape, so I just sanded off the old finish and applied some more paste wax, but the top had chipped off the rear tote, so I decided to make a new one out of Bolivian rosewood. I'm doing a whole separate video on that process, but basically I drilled the holes, bandsawed it out, rough shaped it with some rasps, smoothed it out with a spindle sander, and then finished it with some paste wax. The cutting edge of the blade was slanted, so I used my grinder to regrind it square to the sides. It's important to go slow and keep water handy to constantly cool the iron so you don't lose the hardness. And after grinding, I took the iron to my stones and stropped Sharpie. Off camera, I soaked the plane body in some paint thinner to get rid of the rest of the old finish that I couldn't scrape off, and then taped off all the screw holes, sides, and where the frog sits, and shot it with 2 coats of Rust-Oleum hammered finished black paint. Now, I like using the hammered paint on stuff like this because I just don't think that a smooth paint job looks right on old planes, and the hammer gives a nice texture on the cast iron. Now for a short demo. This piece of rough cherry is pretty cupped and twisted, so I attacked it with a scrub plane first. I'll link to the video on converting a plane to a scrub plane, but if that's not out yet, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see it when I do publish it. After the scrub plane is done, I bring out the jointer and smooth down the face. This helps you see how the long sole is important to getting a flat face. Then I go ahead and joint an edge as well, but I really need to make an appropriate bench for this type of woodworking because this one just isn't cutting it.